mate. What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
It's time!
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Oh, so sorry for the time and the technical difficulties that we are facing today. Today's been crazy, but it is what it is. It is totally my fault for not being ready for everything. So I take full accountability for the lateness and everything. So it is what it is. We are going to continue. We're going to still have our show today. We are going to do what we do. We're going to learn and we are going to grow and we are going to keep on winning. All right. So if you do not know who I am your host of the show, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. And this is Software Explorations Sunday edition, episode 2 of Software Explorations for the year. We had our very first episode on Thursday, this past Thursday, where we used Elastic Beanstalk and AWS CodePipeline to deploy the application that my tech barbarians are building. And also so the goal though today is, because Sundays are reserved for Terraform, although sometimes we have to pivot a little bit when we have like an emergency. We have to do a little bit of something different. But what I want to do, because what I noticed in the Terraform course is that it was in the section that we're in, it was going to be going through AWS Elastic Beanstalk. So I'm like, oh, cool. So we can go ahead and try to provision that. So what we did manually, we can provision that for with Elastic Beanstalk. In the course, it didn't speak about CodePipeline, but it did speak about Route 53. So I would like to start to get into that today, and we can see how far we can go. It was a late start, so we're going to make lemonade out of the lemons dealt with for us today. Like I said, totally my fault for being late. Try to get started as soon as possible, but I was unprepared for the circumstances today, so it is what it is. All right. Anyhow, let's jump into our agenda and then we will get to work. So first and foremost, as I always like to do, I would like to say, I would like to welcome and thank all of the newest subscribers to the channel. We have been getting some rapid growth and it is very, very much appreciated. appreciated.
I appreciate you.
You guys are awesome. And there has been people who've reached out to me and we've spoken, and we are, I'm always looking to add value. I love feedback. I love criticism. I was reading the book Relentless yesterday by Tim Grover, and I'm thinking about how I can integrate or incorporate maybe some type of I don't know if I want to call it book club, but anyway, somehow where like we talk about certain books. Yeah, I guess it would be a book club. I don't know. I have to see how we can do that. But I have certain books that I want to go through, and we could talk about it together. But I was reading Relentless yesterday, and there was a quote that said, "The only difference between feedback and criticism is how you take it." Right? So it's whatever comes my way, I appreciate it because it is an opportunity for growth. So, I just love talking to people, reaching out to people, meeting with new people. So definitely, if you want to speak to me, there is a link where you can book a 30-minute consultation call, and we can talk about whatever it is, wherever you're at, and we can go from there, So like I said, thank you to all the newest subscribers. We're growing so fast. And I want to say a special salute to the Tech Barbarians and all of my Patreon members. And I've been getting some new Tech Barbarians signing up at just recently within the past week, right? All very goal driven, goal oriented, and just looking for a little bit of mentorship, a little bit of guidance, and that is what I'm going to offer. I'll tell you this: the way that I do my coaching, you lead it, right? I'm there to provide guidance, mentorship, and everything like that. But the results are totally up to you. I will not want the results more than you want them, right? So that's how I work, right? That's how I work. It's totally up to you what your success is going to be, because at the end, as they say, you're born alone, you're going to die alone. Everything that happens in between, it is totally up to you whether you succeed or fail. Nobody else, all right? So I just wanted to say I am so proud of my Tech Barbarians, every single one of them, who's still pushing forward, who is still there. They are doing awesome, and I am very, very proud to work with each one of them, all right? And I am excited to see the new Patreon members who are signing up. I am just always looking to see how I can add more and more value to you. I'm working with some people to see how can I develop some tools that will help my Patreon members as well. I'm going to make those tools exclusive to Patreon members. And so, as we work on those, I will provide more and more information on there, right? So once again, salute to the Tech Barbarians and all of my Patreon members. So if you are new to the channel, or maybe you're not new, but you just haven't clicked subscribe yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, but go ahead, do me a favor. Click the subscribe button right now, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that I go live or that I release a new video, all right? And while you're doing that, go ahead and like the video and share the video with everyone, because I try to make something for everyone and something that is easily understandable. And I mean, to be fair, sometimes I get deep in the weeds, so they're when I'm going deep into Terraform or in whatever, it might be a little confusing, right? But but if you follow along, you're gonna get it, right? And I'm gonna touch on that a little bit, right? So subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video, share the video, leave me a comment, interact with me in the chat, whatever. I just want to talk to you, right? I just want to talk to you. And as I mentioned earlier about the Tech Barbarians, check out the Patreon. All right, I have a goal this year to add so much more value for my Patreon members, so that I want to see you win at the end of the day, right? And, that's why I make myself available. If you send me a message on Patreon, I will be sure to respond. I will review your resume and give you some feedback on your resume in the Patreon. It's very, very low cost of entry, but trust me, and whatever it is that you need, I will do my best to provide you that information, but I reserve that for my Patreon members. All right. So check it out. It is www.techcoachralph.dev, and you can see what we have going on over there. I was talking about the Tech Barbarians a little bit earlier. The top tier, it is almost full, right? There are not many spaces left because I specifically keep it low because I want to be able to focus my attention on my Tech Barbarians. This is not some type of boot camp where I'm cycling people in every 6 weeks and stuff like that, because I just don't have the capacity to teach people and stuff like that, to hold people's hands. I want people who are self-driven and they just need that guidance. And that's why I keep it low, because I said, you know what, I'm going to dedicate my time to the people who want it, right? Who want to go all after it. I'm going to dedicate my time to them. And that's why I keep it low. And then we have the other tier, the middle tier, where, what is it called? I think it's like Tech Elite or something like that, or Tech Prodigy Elite, something like that. And that one, I give a little bit less time, right? 30 minutes to an hour a month. But in that one, so I have a little bit more openings for that. But trust me, it's once that fills up, once those two tiers fill up, you'd have to wait for somebody to drop in order for you to get back in, because I don't think I'm going to raise it. Because I don't have the capacity for it, right? So get in while you have a chance. Check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev. I do everything like through scheduling. You schedule your coaching calls and everything like that, and then we talk and we strategize and we plan. We set goals and we go out there and attack. We attack it. All right. So check it out, www.techcoachralph.dev. Okay. Now let's move on to our live show schedule. We have our morning show Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:15 a.m. Eastern time, where we do, so I call it coffee and kata. We have a cup of coffee. We review some news stories for the first 5 to 10 minutes of the show, and then we get into our coding challenge. Tomorrow, we are going back into the Chaos Camp testing OpenAI challenge. This past Friday, we did our very, very first Code Wars challenge, and we actually, I thought it was going to take us longer, but we actually got to finish it in about 30 to 40 minutes, which was a great way to wake up your mind for the day. So so it's probably going to be how we did it with the Git challenge, where we did Mondays and Wednesdays Chaos Camp, and then Fridays we might be doing the Git challenge, or not the Git challenge. Jesus Christ, what am I doing out here? We would be doing the Code Wars challenge, and then we might add in some Elite code at some point. I have to look more into Elite code, but I hear a lot of SDETs and stuff use that, so maybe we'll jump into that, see what's going on with that. All right, so Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7:15 a.m. the morning show, coffee and kata. Sunday afternoons, today, January 7th, 2024. We have software explorations, where we are going through Terraform on Sundays, and I'm gonna have some things to share about Terraform, but we will get to that once we get into the show. Tuesday nights we have our Q&A session. We're going to be going live this coming Tuesday for Q&A. However, next week Tuesday, which I am going to be scheduling that during the week, we are going to be doing our cybersecurity Q&A with our good friend Socks. Go ahead and check out his channel as well. Subscribe to his channel so you can stay up to date with cybersecurity. And we should be having Socks U being ready to be released by that. Like, it should be released by that time, right? By the time we go live. So we will get some more information, get a walkthrough on that. And then we have Thursday nights where we have more software explorations. And what we're going to be doing this coming Thursday, right? So I kind of did this, like when I first started this channel, we did a few weeks, I think it was maybe like 4 or 5 weeks, where we did automation with Java and with Python using Selenium side by side, the same website, to see which one was easier to use, right? Now, what we're going to do, because it's 2024 and there's so many different tools out there for automation. The three most popular, I'd say, is Playwright, Cypress, and Selenium, no particular order. So what we're going to do, we are going to choose a website, and I would love for you to give me some suggestions on which website you would like to see automated. And we will take that website and we will automate the same exact flow, side by side ish, right? In Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright, and then we will see which one was the which one, like. And I'm gonna write some criteria that we'll judge it by. Which one was the easiest to do? Which one was the fastest to get started? Which one offers the most? So that's going to be what we're going to be starting this coming Thursday, right? So that is the plan. And then I'm still thinking about some other ideas, some other things that we might go live about, but nothing to talk about right now, right? So one more time, morning show, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Coffee and Kata at 7:15 a.m. Sunday afternoons, software explorations. Tuesday nights, Q&A sessions. And Thursday nights, more software explorations, all right? So that is our live show schedule. Now, let's talk about our pre-recorded shows. So we have Mondays, Candid Conversations. Tomorrow, I will be talking about burnout. And what about burnout? So what we'll be talking about tomorrow about burnout is how to use it to your advantage, all right? I know it's going to ruffle a few feathers, but it is what it is, all right? So Wednesdays, we have software explorations, concept and overviews. We are going to continue through our comparison and our breakdown of Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright in this coming Wednesday software explorations. And then Fridays, we have the bug bite, where we're going to be looking into a major outage that happened in 1990. So about 24 or 34 years ago. We're going to be looking into that AT&T software bug that caused phone lines not to work for a long, I think it was for almost half a day. So that is what we're going to be doing. And then throughout the week, we have additional content. We have the Q&A clips that come out at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So look out for those. So one more time, Mondays, Candid Conversations. Wednesdays, software explorations, concept and overviews. Fridays, the bug bite. And then throughout the week, we have additional content, specifically our Q&A clips. But we will be having some more stuff to come out as well, right? So that is our pre-recorded show content. And if you have not done so yet, right, I would like you to go check out the Chaos Camp GitHub, so you can see all the amazing challenges that Don has placed up there, so it can help you level up your technical skills, your QA skills, your testing skills. It's just going to help you, right? That's why I do the Chaos Camp challenges in the morning. It stimulates my mind. It helps me become a better QA engineer. Even though I've been doing this for so long, you still need to put in the work. You still need to practice, right? I was telling somebody the other day, you need to put in at least 20 hours of your own time off the company clock to continue to learn and continue to grow, right? So we start that off early in the morning. So I hope you are able to join me as we go through these challenges, okay? So now I want to have a quick chat with you as we go into, as we continue, right? I want to have a quick chat, right? So I want to talk about repetition and challenging yourself, because I was thinking about this yesterday, right? Actually, the past 2 days. So as you guys know, right? I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I started in 2020, June 2020, right? And it is now January 2024. So it's been about 3.5 years, right? Just got my purple belt last month, right? And as I've been training lately, so I'll give you some additional insight, right? The way that our school runs, it runs off of a 16-week curriculum that you just go through it over and over and over. Every 16 weeks, it restarts, right? And what I'm noticing now is like stuff that I learned a long time ago that we do over and over and over, that now the repetition that you put in is not necessarily about being able to do the movement over and over and over again, right? For what I'm learning for myself at least, it's about when you are in the situation that you're able to think through what you need to do, right? So for instance, training in the past couple of days, I like while I'm doing sparring, I'm remembering what a professor said to do like 2 years ago, and I'm able to actually think about what I'm supposed to be doing and apply it in that moment and see growth and success, right? So, uh, bringing that back to tech, a lot of times when we're going through our courses or through our boot camps or whatever it is that we do to learn, right? We just go through it, we do it once, and then we think we know it, and then now when we need to use it, it's hard for us to remember, right? That's one of the reasons when I'm doing like whatever it is that I'm doing, I find a useful thing to work on it, right? So like as I use the Elastic Beanstalk, which I had never heard of before the past few weeks, you use Elastic Beanstalk to deploy an Express application, and using the code pipeline to connect your GitHub to your AWS, right? So what I'm wondering now, when you're going through these courses or through these boot camps, is it just a one and done type thing? Are you like a college basketball athlete? You just go for 1 year and you're out? Or would it be more beneficial to, let's say you go through a section, right? And then you do the section again. Because what is the goal? To finish the class or to learn how to do whatever it is that you're learning, right? So I'm wondering now, let's say you're learning full stack development, right? And you go through the section of HTML and you're done with that section. Now, do you just jump into CSS and then you just jump into JavaScript and then whatever else comes? Or is it going to help you more to like, okay, after you did it, now should you go back to that section? And then maybe you go back to that section again, or maybe you do two sections and you go back to both of those sections, right? So that's one thing I was thinking about, right? But however, what about when you are done with the course? Is it, okay, I did that course and I'm done? Or would it be more beneficial to you that after you're done with that course to say, you know what, I'm going to do it again? Or maybe I do another course, but I'm going to go back to that course so that now I can see how much I retained and what did I miss so that I can continue to get better. I can become one of the top leading experts in that by the repetition of doing it over. But with that repetition, it's more to trigger like your memory and your learning than to like to have that physical repetition. The physical repetition helps, coding helps and stuff like that. But to actually have that physical, or not the physical, but to have that mental toughness that's being built to like, oh, okay, I can strategize by doing this, this, and that, right? A lot of times, like I don't memorize the syntaxes and the code and stuff like that, but I am able to strategize and be able to maneuver that way, right? So think about that, about how you structure your learning, right? For it to be the most effective and the most efficient. All right. So just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was pretty important, of how through repetition, if you focus on it the right way, how it will help you continue to grow and to level up. Okay. So just wanted to share that with you. one more thing that I want to share, right? And I'm going to get the link for this because this thing was so amazing yesterday. My good friends over at the channel Tech Niche Tips, they had this interview yesterday with a web developer or a full stack developer. Let me see if I can find it. I want to share this with you because it was by Lawrence Lockhart, right? That was the name of the full stack developer who did a interview with my friend Joseph over at Technique Tips. It was remarkable, right? And I want to share that with you because the things that he was sharing on the stream, it was things that I say all the time, and I think from you hearing it from multiple different people, hearing about his journey, his experience, I think it'll be super super helpful. Joseph over at Technique Tips, he is more in the sales development, so SDR, as sales development representative, I think something like that. But we support each other. I'm more in the tech, I'm more in the software development side, and he's more in the sales side, right? But we work together, we support each other, and that's why I want to send you over to that particular interview. And while you're there, I would hope that you would subscribe to his channel as well because they provide amazing, valuable insight. So I just want to send that over your way to check them out as well. So that is, let me see. Let me drop the link for you in the description or in the chat. Let's go with that. And there you have it, right? So go ahead and check that out. It was such a great interview. I think you will find it very, very helpful, especially if you are, trying to transition. Lawrence provided tons and tons of resources on how that can help you, and the resources, like those resources is how it can help you to level up. He talked about resume, setting up your LinkedIn, being focused and everything like that. A lot of things that I talk about, but I just wanted to share that with you so that you can see another opportunity, another perspective on how to do it as well. All right. So that's the last thing I wanted to leave you with before we jump into the show. But first, if you still haven't done so yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, but go ahead and do it right now. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live. Like the video, share the video, leave me a comment, interact with me in the chat. Check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev. All right. So now we're going to get started. But before we go any further, we need some energy.
Please offer me your energy. I ask of you, please.
All right. So what are we in for today? So first and foremost, let me get up our clock, and it's working today. Happy to see that. All right. So we're going to be jumping into Terraform. We're going to be working for 20 minutes. Then we're going to take a break about 5 minutes. And then the first break, I want to have a little chat with you about you and your company, right? And what your expectations should be. And then we're going to be talking about first what I'm seeing in Terraform, what I think a prerequisite to learning Terraform should be. And we'll go from there, right? So let's start up our first 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
So let me open our software. So we're going to be doing this in WebStorm because I do want to do the Terraform for our application that my tech barbarians are building. I called it the Poopy Pants quotes generator. All right. So that's pretty much how we're gonna do it. We are going to use we're going to be using Terraform to migrate this over. All right. However, before we get into that, right, I wanted to talk about what I'm seeing with Terraform, right? So from my for like, I don't know, how long did we start Terraform? Like maybe since September. But what I'm seeing with Terraform is that it's not that hard, right? Because the structure is the same for all of them. So you're like, okay, resource EC2, right? And then resource EC2, and then you give it a name, and then you configure it, right? You can you configure your load balancers, you configure your virtual private network. It's all about the configuration, right? So Terraform itself, from what I'm seeing, it's not that hard. It is pretty simple to pick up. They have a structure that they use and everything like that with the variables and everything like that, right? It's not that hard. However, that's why I want to talk about like the prerequisite to actually being able to get good with Terraform would be you need to know the cloud platform that you're using, right? So we've been using AWS, right? But we'll use some different ones like Google Cloud Platform or Microsoft Azure or both, right? But a prerequisite that I'd say is you should know the platform that you're using, right? So one of the things that kind of trips us up is us not being as familiar with AWS as we should be. So now when we're trying to use Terraform, we have to like do a lot of looking and stuff like that. Being that we are resourceful and we're able to follow guides and stuff like that, we are able to we're able to create it manually, and that helps us. Like just so creating it manually is going to help us to use Terraform to create it, because using Terraform isn't that hard if you know what the configurations are to do it manually, right? So that is also why I say that you should be using the project that you're working on to learn. So let's say you are building some little application like we did with the Poopy Pants. Now you want to host it, you want to configure, you want to set it up on AWS or Azure or Google Cloud Platform. You should be using that as an opportunity to set up Terraform to use the deployment tool that is going to use. All right. So that is my idea. Make useful projects. I was telling somebody yesterday, when you are trying to learn and you're trying to do something, instead of just going after like the straight portfolio and stuff like that, you would want to instead of going after the straight portfolio, you would want to build something that's useful to you. Because a lot of times when something is useful to you, it is going to be useful to other people as well. So stop thinking about, oh, let me build something for something that people might like. No, build something that you're going to like, something that's going to help you to be more effective, more efficient, something that's going to be good for you. And then if you do that, people will say, oh, that's useful to me too. And then they'll follow, right? And then that's how you end up having the Twitters, the Facebooks, all that good stuff, right? So think about that. That is what that's what I want you to think about, right? So now let's jump into configuring our Elastic Beanstalk with Terraform, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into AWS so we can see what we need to manually configure. I think I'm going to need PyCharm as well, because we will need get set up here. So let's log into AWS. So let's get our 2FA key. All right, so we are logged into AWS. I have WebStorm open already. All right. All right. So we are going to. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to switch our screens over. So let's go to here. Oh, great. Hold on. What is up? Let's go. Let me fix that. Okay. I guess I just fix it this way. So we're gonna go here, and I am. And we want that one. All right. There we go. We are building it as we fly it. All right. And then we're going to go here. Okay. So there we are, right? We are in our EC2, or we're in our AWS console. We're going to click on Elastic Beanstalk, because what I'd like to do, I don't think we're going to get to all of it today, right? But I want to configure Elastic Beanstalk with Terraform. I want to configure the Route 53 with Terraform. And I want to see if CodePipeline is available for Terraform as well, to see how we would be able to set that up if possible. But as we see here, we have our application running, right? Okay, so our application is running, created December 31st. We know that it works. If we go to, and then we can also go to the, domain, and we see that through Route 53, it is set up. When you click on Add Booby Pants, you get a quote. You click on it again, you get another quote. So that is what we have working. So now we want to migrate the configuration that we did manually here. We want to get into Terraform, okay? So last time we tried doing it with AWS Amplify, that did not work well for us. So we are going to be using Elastic Beanstalk, because we have that running, but we do want it in Terraform, okay? So what we're gonna do, probably gonna have to fix the screen too on this one, but it is what it is. We are going to Terraform. All right, now, and the thing is too, right? We also were able to create our AWS Amplify environment with our Terraform. It's just that we were not able to deploy using it, right? So it is what it is. We are going to do this now. Going to this screen, see if we have any trouble. Same thing. Let's fix that. Good enough. All right, cool. So there we go. We have our code. We are going to open the plan where we have resource AWS Amplify. So we're going to just get rid of, let's get rid of it all actually. So we are back to a blank file, okay? So we are going to first do the resource for Elastic Beanstalk. Let's see what happens, right? So resource, Elastic Beanstalk application, or Elastic Beanstalk environment. Let's see. Because let me also open the, what is it called? I'm going to open the, I am going to open the code that we have as well. to make sure that we are following it correctly. But it's pretty much going to be. Actually, no. Let's try without the code because I have the code from the course, right, which would guide us along the way. But I would rather not do that right now. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can use the. So if I go here, so let's see if we can use this. Make this a little bigger as well. Zoom in. So let's see if we can use what we did here to recreate over there, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over here and we're gonna say Poopy Pat's Terraform, right? And then how you do it? Missing required properties application name. All right, so let's add that. All right, so application, let's call that Poopy Pat's quotes, right? And we will give it a name of okay. We got that. And now so if we're comparing here, let's see, is there anything else that we need? Platform ARN. Well, I'm going to click on this to see the configuration. Oh, wrong one. I'm going to click on the environment name to see the configuration. Okay. So we have the application name. We have the domain that would be returned to us. Platform. So what we can do, we can leave. Let's leave it as let's leave it as this for now, right? And let's just do a Terraform apply and see what happens. Okay. Because let's see if the errors can guide us to success. So if we run this by itself, right? It says it's going to add. Will it add? Let's see if we do this, if it's going to add this for us, right? So let's say yes. See if we get an error. So we got an error. Let's see. So creating Elastic Beanstalk environment, missing parameter, you must specify either configuration template or solution stack name. Okay, so we are learning through errors. So let's say solution stack name. And do we have that here? Or the configuration template. Let's see if it's a configuration template. I don't see that. So solution stack name. So I wonder if there are parameters. Now if we search for solution, so we go here. All right, so let's take a look at this. Mm, So that name. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. If we go to here, I suppose. Mm, where would we find that? 64-bit Amazon Linux, multi-container Docker. All right, so let's look at this documentation. Let's go to Node.js because that's what we used. All right, so here's the solution stack name, right? So I'm going to copy this right here. And we're going to go to here and paste, right? So now let's try our Terraform apply again. Say yes. We get a different error. So we got a different error. No solution stack name named this found. Okay, so platform version would be this one and solution stack name. All right, cool. So all right, we're learning. So we are going to do get this. Let's see if that works. So this is what this is. So supposedly this is the solution stack name. So we're going to give it a try. Say yes. And the error that we got, learning through errors, is no application named. No application name. So let's see if we can. I thought I was going to be creating a new application, but no. So let's see. So now if we search for. So let's look at the first one. Or I'm over here. So. So I'm wondering if I need to create a resource, as we saw before. Application.
Lunch break.
And call that poopy hats quotes. And after we try this, we'll be going through our break. So I'm just doing this over here. And it says, okay, so it needs to add the missing priorities. And let's call that we got that, and I don't think we need a description. Okay, so we have that. Let's try another Terraform apply. Then we go to break. And looks like we are getting something happening here. Let's see. So while it's doing that, I'm going to switch over to the AWS console to see if it's actually trying to create, because I heard it can take some time to create the Elastic Beanstalk environment. So let's see if we have if something shows at least, right? And then we'll go to break. Okay, so let's go over here. Oh, well, there it's trying to do something. So it actually terminated it. It's always gonna fail, but we're getting closer and closer, right? I wonder if I guess we'll see the here it goes. So we can say the error environment must have instance profile associated with it, right? So cool. So we have an idea what we need to do next. I guess Terraform should time out, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. All right, so that was fun. We are getting there. I doubt we're gonna get to finish everything today because of our unfortunate late start. But we'll make do with what we have. All right. So what we're going to do, we are going to during our break, I'm going to put 5 minutes up on the clock. And I want to talk about your growth within your company, right? So you work for a company, and I've seen this sentiment a few times, which it is a recipe for disaster. It's total destruction, right? So you are I can use QA, right? Because that's what I know the most, right? Let's say you work for a company, you're a QA tester, manual QA, whatever the case may be, right? And you want to learn how to do automation, right? So you go to your boss, you go to your company, and you say, "Hey, I want to learn how to do automation," and they say that, no, you need to focus. Like, we don't have the capacity for automation, to teach you automation, for you to do it, whatever. So pretty much they reject you and your idea. They say, no, you can't do it, right? That's what they tell you. What do you do from there? Do you just say, well, the company's not going to pay for me to take a course. They're not going to pay for my boot camp. They're not going to pay for my Udemy course. They don't want me to do it. It's over. There goes my chances of automation, right? Absolutely not. The problem is that we become so entirely dependent on someone or something telling us what to do, trying to give us direction, and then we don't do for ourselves what we need to do, right? I think it's a sense of you don't want to do it in the first place, but because they say no, then you're like, oh, I guess I can't do it. I guess I'm just gonna be here forever. And then once they get rid of you or whatever happens, you can't find something else because you didn't level up your skills when you had the chance. So what if your company tells you no? Is it over? Right? That's the question. If your company tells you no, is it over? Absolutely not. Because what is stopping you from learning automation on your own time? Right? You want to go somewhere. The company, they're going to do what is in their best interest, right? And if it is not in their interest right now for you to learn automation, maybe it might be down the line, but why is it that you have to wait for them to give you the green light for you to learn something? Is it not possible that for you to go and learn it yourself, right? You learn it yourself, and then you can say, now that I know this, here is what it can do. This is how it can benefit the company. Or instead of like that theoretical, hoping that they do something for you. Because at the end of the day, the bottom line is it all comes down to the money. You got like people might think that, oh, the companies are so bad and this like this, they don't want to pay for that, they don't want to do this, whatever the case may be, right? But it all comes down to the money, right? If you could not afford something, you would not be paying for it, right? And in the same way, the companies are in the same boat, so they have to go with what's in their interest. However, you are the one who wants to move up. You want to level. You want to level up. You want to do all these things, right? So it is on you to go out there and like and learn what you have to learn, right? If they don't want to pay for a course for you, fine, pay for it yourself, right? They don't owe you for you to get better in your career. It helps them when you do because you are able to take that knowledge and apply it to them, but they don't owe it to you, right? You want to level up. You need to put in the work, the time, the resources, the money, whatever it is that you need to do, right? So that you can continue to grow and you can continue to get better, right? It is not the company's responsibility to teach you. The only thing that they're responsible for is to teach you how to use their systems, how to give you that orientation. But to teach you from nothing, it is not their responsibility. Even as an entry level person, right? You might get some mentorship and stuff like that, but there is a baseline that you need to come in with, and there is a baseline of the continuing education that you should be doing on a weekly basis, so that you can continue to stimulate your minds, continue to grow, all of that, right? So, don't at me, but all I'm saying is that a lot of the times you don't achieve what you don't achieve, what you want to achieve is because you are waiting for somebody else to make it happen for you while you should be able to do it for yourself, right?
Get a move on, back to work, chop chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
That is what I have for you, right? But I will be right back. Just give me one split second to go and take care of something, and I'll be back. All right, we are back. So let's throw up another 20 minutes on the clock.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right, so let's take a look at two things, right? We are going to go to the screen. All right. On this screen, we can see that why does it keep refreshing? So it tried to create it, it didn't get through it, right? However, the platform that we set, or the solution stack name that we set, is there successfully. It failed though because the environment must have an instance profile associated with it, right? So we're going to have to try. We're going to configure that, and we'll probably just get through the Elastic Beanstalk today, and then next week we will see if we can do the Route 53 because that one's a little bit easier, and then we'll see if there's a code. Let me see right now. There's a code pipeline. To be honest with you, so resource code. Oh, well, resource wrong. So I am over here. I'm just curious to see if they have the code pipeline. Code pipe. Oh yeah, they do. So we'll add that to our list of things that we need to do to set up the code pipeline. But we're not going to do that this week because it's not even part of the course. But I like I was saying earlier, right? I like to go outside of the course so that we can make ourselves better, right? And when I was talking about in the beginning of the show, or beginning of this part, is having knowledge of your cloud provider. So you might have it might be useful to become AWS cloud practitioner certified or whatever, the get some sort of AWS certification or some Microsoft Azure certification or some Google Cloud Platform certification, because knowing how to configure these things manually is going to immensely help you to configure this stuff through Terraform. Because I'll tell you this, right? Even if you get your cloud certification and stuff like that, that's great. But you add so much more value if you know how to do it through code, through infrastructure as code, right? If you can do infrastructure as code, it adds so much more value because we know how to navigate through it. We've been able to figure it out and stuff like that, right? But now you can, because you know how to do it through Terraform, you can go ahead and do what we're doing now. It goes a lot faster. It is a lot more transferable. You can scale it up better. So my prerequisite is being familiar with these cloud platforms, or the one that you want to be familiar with. And you might even want to go get some of those certifications as well, because that will be very, very helpful. Maybe this year I will add that to the list of goals of being some type of AWS certified. I don't know. We shall see. Right? We shall see. Maybe that will be our next course of action for us to go through AWS cloud certification together. Anyways, let's move on to. So this is where we're at. We know that we need to have some type of instance profile associated with it. Let's see. Where does that go though? Let's see if we do resource Elastic Beanstalk. So there's application, there's environment, there's application version, there's configuration template. So I'm not sure which one of these we're going to need. So what we're going to do, we are going to Google Terraform associate instance profile. All right, so we're going to do that, right? We're going to go to here, Terraform associate Elastic Beanstalk instance profile. So, Elastic Beanstalk instance profile not automatically created. All right, so this sounds like a good one. I'm using Terraform to successfully spin up some Elastic Beanstalk apps, single Docker configuration, and enable auto scaling as part of the application environment creation. This works fine in most regions I've tried, but when I try to spin up in London, let's see what our errors are here too. Mm. Oh, so the application. So I'm seeing something here. If we all right, so the applic. So let's go here. Environments created the 7th. We go to applications. So it created our application. It has our terminated environment. So let's look at our working one, right? So we have our application, we're in our environment. And let's see. I don't see the instance. So, all right, cool. I don't see the associated instance thing. So let's take a look at here. Fail to launch environment must have. Okay, so I have found that if I manually attach AWS Elastic Beanstalk AC2 role as IAM instance profile, it works, but this relies on the role being automatically created previously. All right. So for others stuck on this issue, let's zoom in a little bit on that. Accept all cookies. For others stuck on this issue, I have found a solution by adding the instance profile directly in the settings. The instance profile doesn't get automatically added like it does when creating an Elastic Beanstalk through console. Below is a full Beanstalk environment resource defined. So it should be in here somewhere. So I'm guessing it is this stuff over here that does the. So what we can do it one by one, right? We can try adding this one and see what we get, and then we can run it and see what happens, right? So what we're gonna do, we are going to swoop over and let's get rid of that. And this is supposed to go inside of the environment one. So, and yeah, it should because that's where it failed, right? So let's go to setting. And we're going, so, and here's the cool thing, right? I don't know. All of a sudden now, this stuff automatically populates for you, but I love it. All right, so it says name. So I am instance profile namespace AWS auto scaling group or auto scaling colon launch configuration, and then value becomes AWS Elastic Beanstalk EC2 role, right? So that would be our instance profile. I think we can try running that to see what happens. So we're gonna do a Terraform apply, see what we get. So want to add the other the application already exists, so it doesn't have to do that over. So let's go ahead and say yes on this. And we are going to go over to our the screen right here. And now we have our latest environment pending. Let's click on that and let's take a look at what errors that we get. So it created a security group. It created a load balancer. And like I said, it can take a few minutes to set up everything, but so far so good. Create a security group, created auto scaling launch configuration, named this thing. You guys like my Florida hat? Just got it. I am in sunny South Florida, although it has not been very sunny today. It's been kind of on the cooler side the past few weeks, but it is what it is. So now we have added instance. So that's all we need to do. We need to create the setting for it to do the instance, to create the instance. And we are good to go so far. I'm not sure if we will need this setting right here. Maybe we should, because it will limit the size of the instance that gets created. You can specify the size that you want. Okay, so maybe we don't need to, because the exact setting to fix the issue was this one right here. So we might not have to go more into that. So let's see. Let's see how this goes. Instance deployment completed successfully. So that is awesome. And you know what? Maybe based on the size that we have, maybe based on the size of the application and stuff like that, it'll change on its own, right? So I don't know. Let's go and see here. So if we go back over here, we can see that apply complete resource 1 added, 0 change, 0 destroyed. All right. So cool. Now, what we need to do though, we should be outputting the name of the, like, how to get to this, right? Let's do output. We want to output, I think it's on the environment, this, or how does it go? Oh, wait. Let's say output, let's say PPQ elastic beanstalk URL. Let's put hyphen there. So we call that, and we say, all right, so we need that, and we say add properties, and we would say how do we output again? So we want, we want. So let's Google it, right? We can Google this. We got that. So thank you to that Stack Overflow. Let's say we want Terraform output Elastic Beanstalk URL. So we get that output. The host name. Let's see. I think it's endpoint. All right, so it should be endpoint. Is it endpoint? Let's see. Let's try. Let's start with host name. Let's try host name. So let's see what this gives us. So value would be I don't think it's host name. I think we're gonna have to go with let's try endpoint, right? Let's try endpoint because that sounds like it might be it. So join, and then oh yeah, because I see it's gonna be that one because it says CNAME in there. Elastic Beanstalk environment dot poopy pants Terraform. See, right, and then we close that. And so we have that. That should give us Terraform apply. All right, so this one needs the list. Okay. All right, so let's do that again. Terraform apply. Oh, cool. So it's going to give us the output. Let's see. Or no. Oh, there it goes. Cool. So the URL is poopypants quotes app dot this dot right. So that means if we copy this right here, it should load for us, right? So we're going to copy that. And we are going to go here. And we're going to paste that in here. And let's see what happens. Oh my God. Look at that. Let's go ahead and. That was not hard at all. I wish I had the staples button. That was easy. Right? We were able to. It took us quite a bit. No, did it? I don't remember how long it took us to get to this point. No, it wasn't that long. It was pretty quick, right? But we did it manually. Now, with our code, we have configured Elastic Beanstalk via Terraform, right? I think that's amazing, right? Because now the next step would be to deploy our application. Would be to deploy our application, where there's a few different ways to do it. We could do it through the way that we did it last time using CodePipeline. We could zip up a file. We could do it through the AWS CLI, where we do Elastic Beanstalk and we deploy the application that way. I prefer to go through the integration of AWS. So like every time we push new code to GitHub and we merge it into master, whenever something changes in master, it should trigger a new build, right? So this is great progress. What we will, I think, because we can go for a little bit more, we can start looking into the Route 53, right? And then next week we can get into the code pipeline part to see if we can configure code pipeline to connect to our AWS Beanstalk environment that we just created, and then to deploy our application that way, right? Because if we're able to do that, then I am going to tear down, get rid of the one that we created manually and use the one that we have managed through Terraform, because we believe in automating everything, right? And to me, Terraform is just automation for your infrastructure, right? And that's why I appreciate it so much, and that's why I am focused on that, right? I love the DevOps process. I love the QA process, and having the two, I think they are still related. And having the two come together is just, it's like I'm making snow angels, right? So this is great, significant progress. Always pushing forward. A little tired today, but that is no excuse, all right? So let's go to break. Gonna throw up a 5-minute countdown. And I am going to acknowledge my brother in the chat. Operation Tech Takeover. Before Operation Tech Takeover, the show from Tech Niche Tips yesterday, right, with Joseph interviewing Lawrence Lockhart. Tell me that wasn't amazing, right? That was an amazing interview. I really appreciated that. I know you were there too. Let me know what you thought about that interview, right? It was, to me, it was absolutely amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had to jump off a little bit early to go to start jujitsu class, but when I came back and I heard the end and the questions that he was answering, it was absolutely amazing. So I hope you found value. Great. I hope you found value in it too. But I really appreciated that. So Tech Takeover says, my man, 100 grand. Peace and blessings. Just got back home, so I jumped on to support before I go into my study session. Go and study, bro. 2024 is going to be our year. I got your back. I'm going to reach out to you this week so we can connect. But I got you, and we're gonna make it happen. But yeah, go ahead and study and put in that extra work. Keep pushing. All right, keep pushing. All right, and so the other plan that I had was to jump on Glassdoor and let's look at some QA jobs on Glassdoor, right? Gotta sign in. And Tech Takeover said that it was mind-blowing. I had a consultation with Lawrence in like October, and he gave me some great info. Facts. Like that, I was like, man, like this is the stuff that I'd be preaching to people, like, and just, for me, hearing it from like he's full stack development, but he focuses on Java, right? And me being QA, we're like, at the end of the road, right? You still have the same advice, the same insight on how to make it, right? Like you're gonna have to start at the bottom, and then you like the way that you strategize is how you're going to leapfrog from position to position, job to job, to get to that top level. Sometimes you get multiple. One thing I would say that in what he was talking about, right? depending on your circumstances and your responsibilities and stuff, you might have to work more than one job, right? Because I mean, I'm not going to tell you everything that he was talking about, but sometimes you might have to take a pay cut, leaving where you are at the time, because you're starting off in a new field, but then you can go back up, right? My thing is though, if at all possible, and you should find a way to make it possible. Sometimes sometimes you work more than one job, right? Sometimes you do that so that you can be able to rise, so all right. So, and Tech Takeover says, I'm just going to leave your stream up to help support analytics. And just use my second screen to appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. You just mute it. And you can tune in later or when you're driving or whatever. But, I appreciate it. But, get to work. And why, before you go, let me know, what is it that you're going to be studying? Is it the SDR stuff that the course that you're taking? Is that what you're going to be studying? Very cool. I love to see when people are working hard, putting in the work. It's Sunday afternoon and Tech Takeover is like, I just got home. It's time for me to get to work. It's time for me to study. So, and then tomorrow morning he's going to be driving to work and supporting and everything like that. So, just saying, super super cool, right? I know time is about to run out. Socks says, get to it. Shout out to my boy Socks. Socks. How we looking, Socks? How are we looking? Do we have something, and as I mentioned earlier, Socks.
Chop, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. You're back to work, back to work, back to work.
Socks and I should be going live on Tuesday, January 16th, for our very, very first cybersecurity Q&A night of 2024. I think we did November and December. I don't know if we did one in October. I know we did November and December. I think we did 2 so far. And it's going to be our third one, but our very first one of 2024. And we did 3? We did 3? Oh, because I know we did the panel. And then we did, maybe it's 3. Or maybe you're considering the panel as the third one. I don't know. But are we going to be demoing something on the 16th, Socks? Let me know. All right. So let's look at one job, right? Let's look at one job. I am going to. That sounds awesome. I can't wait. I cannot wait to the 16th. I cannot wait. All right. Let's look up one job real quick, right? Let's do QA manager or not QA manager. Let's do QA. Let's do QA specialist. I think that's new name for the QA manual role, right? So QA specialist apparel. That seems, let's say software. Software QA specialist, right? I don't know what a software technical expert is, but the pay looks nice. Gotta make sure I close my calendar when I'm. Let's see. Let's just go with QA engineer. And I don't know where to search for. Where's a good place to search? Let's look for New York. I want to look for New York. I will go with Long Island. Long Island, New York, right? Definitely got to close the calendar out. That's annoying. All right. So we have, what do we have? Automation engineer to Mecca, Aries, America, 80 to 90K. Two to 4 years of experience, excellent communications, preferred qualifications, 2-year associate or 4-year bachelor's degree, robotics. Junior quality assurance automation engineer at Fiserv in Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. That sounds like a promising one. Pay Glassdoor estimates between 66K and 92K. What does a junior quality assurance automation engineer do? Right? You will play a crucial role in ensuring the quality of Fiserv Enterprise Payment Solutions product portfolio. The Enterprise Payment Solutions provides best-in-class payment and liquidity management solutions that enable banks to simplify their infrastructure and deliver effective digital transformation. So what will you do? You will analyze requirements and technical documents to define the scope and strategy for testing, learn, master, and eventually take ownership of the internally developed test automation framework, develop and execute test plans, cases, and scripts for technical testing, including manual UI testing for system testing, design, build, and maintain test data sets and libraries for efficient testing, log, track, and manage issues throughout their lifecycle using Jira. So I normally reserve this for my coaching students, but I'm going to say this, right? One of the problems that you have when you're going through like a Udemy course or a boot camp or whatever is you just learn you learn that immediate skill that you need, right? But they do not teach you like working in Agile, using Jira, working within a team, right? Which that is the lifeblood of the work. Because here, like if a company's hiring you, they expect you to know how to do the like QA or software engineering and stuff like that. But if you do not have like those other skills, those organizational skills, the skills using Jira, using Agile, it becomes a little bit problematic, and that's why you get rejected most of the time. So when I am coaching, I'm like, all right, we're going to use Jira. Like we're going to use Jira, and we are going to use the Agile methodology. We're going to use Scrum so that you can get that exposure, that experience. Because any tech company that you get into nowadays, that's what you're going to be using. All right. So Jira, I would recommend that you start using Jira to organize your life. Organize your life with sprints and Scrum, and you do retrospectives at the end of 2 weeks. Do a sprint planning, do a sprint review for yourself to make sure that you are on the up and up, that you're following the right track. All right. So it says manage test case environment usage, including coordinating with the release management and admin teams for all of the test environments during test execution. Facilitate communication and coordination amongst development staff and business. So what do you need to have? A bachelor's degree in computer science, engineering, or technology, or equivalent experience. 1 to 3 years of QA engineering experience or on technology projects. At least 1 year experience with automation testing and automation scripting. Proficient with some of these automation tools: JStorm, Selenium, Cucumber. Some understanding of quality assurance principles, techniques, and tools. So it's interesting. Less like some understanding, but they want to be proficient with the automation tools. So that is very interesting. I would, if you are going, like if you're coming from a boot camp or you took a Udemy course, this is a good candidate to apply for. However, the Jira part, doing your daily stand-ups, very, very important. And you just have to make sure you meet those requirements. Like this is a good blueprint of what you need to learn, but I'll definitely say apply for it. But you need to know the additional tools and the people skills, how to work with people, right? And that's one of the things that I offer in the Patreon, right? So speaking of, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, the notification bell so you can know when we go live, like the video, share the video, check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev so you can level up your technical skills. before we go back to our last segment, let me check what the chat has said. So Tech Takeover says we locked in because he started in his late 40s, and that is the boat I'm in now. I am studying the FCC web dev track he told me to take. I wanted to refresh before I start the 100 days of Python. Oh, okay, cool. And when you start that 100 days of Python, hit me up. I really enjoyed that. Like that course helped me a lot, right? I have background in Java, but I was able to transition the knowledge pretty cool. But hit me up when you start that 100 days of Python, and I would love to talk to you while you're going through that if you get stuck or anything like that. So hit me up, Tech Takeover. And Tech Takeover says, I got you, Socks. Getting to it, family. Thanks for the support. Hey, we are just a big we're a family of tech people over here. So it's all love. And I'm we're all rooting for you, Tech Takeover, and we are all proud of you as well. All right. So let's get to our very last segment before we wrap up the show for today. Although we started late and but we were able to get our Elastic Beanstalk environment running. So that is cool. Let me go to full screen. And I'm going to put up the last 20 minutes on the clock.
It's time to do.
All right. So what we are going to do to wrap up, we're going to try to configure Route 53, right? That would be cool. And then after that, we're done with that, we are going to tear everything down, because if we're not ready to migrate over to the Terraformed environment, there's no need to keep it up because it's just going to incur unnecessary costs. One thing I do want to see though, right, is if we go to, I want to see the size of the instance that's being used, right? So if we go here, let's see if we can copy this, I guess. Oops. Copy that. And let's go to services and we go to EC2. I'm going to star EC2 because I use that a lot. Go open a new tab and we go here. We have 2 instances running, and we'll check this after we do our destroy. So we have and it's running on a T3 micro. So with the auto scaling group, it should be able to scale it up, scale it down as necessary. All right. So that's good to see. Very, very good to see. This one created the availability zone, US East 1B. I guess you could specify that as well when you are creating it. So just out of curiosity, let's see what happens if you go here and you do. I don't know, or not. Or maybe it's in here. Let me see. I don't know. Somewhere you should be able to specify the availability zone. But that's not what we're not going to focus on that today. I was just a little curious. All right. So here we are. We're good. Let's see if we can. And one thing that we're going to have to look up as well is what is the proper structure for doing your Terraform, right? So I suppose we could just do one file for our plan, because I mean, we could have if you're deploying the application, right, you can have your Route 53, you can have your code pipeline. They're all related, or I guess you could separate them. I don't know, right? But I'm just curious. But let's continue. Let's go to another resource. And we're going to go with, you see all the different resources they have in AWS, right? And that, like, getting AWS certified is no, like, I have the course to do it, right? And I think I am going to do it. But I'm just saying, like, there's so many different components of AWS. But I think the course does help you, does kind of guide you through it. Because it would be cool. I'm not, you know me, I'm not like big on certifications, but if I can get one, then why not, right? Doesn't cost much, and I think it's about 60 questions for the solutions architect one. I don't know. Anyways, let's focus. Let's go with, that's not what I want to do. Just resource, and we want to do route 53. There are a lot of things in here. So is it a zone? I think so. What we're gonna do, we are going to pull up our route 53 inside of here. So let's go over here. We're going to pull up route 53. Oops. Let's click on that one. And if we go here, so like I'm saying, right, we are going to look at the manual configuration of Route 53, so we can see how we should set it up. Here, right? So we have one hosted zone. So let's say we go to, so looking at our configuration, right? We have a hosted zone for copypants.techcoachralph.dev. All right. And if we click on that, we shall have this information, right? So if we go back to here and we say, okay, so we need a name, right? So name is gonna be Poopy Pants. URL, right? And once we go in here, do we get our little, we don't get our squigglies? No squigglies. Okay. So provider. Okay. I know it's wrong. We need to do route 53. The zone, maybe zone equals that, right? And the name is going to be, if I delete this, right? Okay, we get the little squigglies, and let's see, is the name only the required one? I guess so. Right, so what we're gonna do, we are going to give a, because we're gonna tear it down, we can give a, let me see something. I'm going to see what happens if I was to create the same hosted zone, if I'm gonna get an error, right? I don't see nothing standing out right away. So what we're gonna do, we are going to do it anyway, right? So we're gonna say poopypants.techcoachralph.dev, and eventually I'm gonna change this to have its own domain as well, because I want the application. I do want this application to grow, but I also want the tech barbarians to be able to use this as their, like, as one of their springboard projects, so that they can show a body of work that they did, something that they participated on, something that I don't want it to be a project. I want it to be a useful application that you can articulate why you built it and what your role and involvement was. And you talk about that you use a Jira process, use the Scrum process, the Agile methodology, and you manage it through Jira. All right. So let's do that. And so now let's try to do Terraform apply to see what happens, right? We might get an error that it already exists. I'm not sure yet, right? But let's find out. So Terraform apply. and it's refreshing, and it says, what is it going to do? Terraform will perform an action. It is going to add the resource of AWS zone. It's going to add all these comments managed by Terraform. Name servers are going to be known. I think that's all we got to do, right? Force this, right? Okay, let's try that, right? So answer is yes. So while it's doing its thing, we should be able to swoop over here. And if we go to hosted zone or dashboard, so 2 hosted zones, right? So shout out to that. We're getting closer and closer, right? Oh, and it did it, right? So if we look over at here, it says that I was able to do it. So if we go back to here and we click on our hosted zone, we have 2 of them. We have 2 of them and managed by Terraform, all good. So now if we look at this as our guide, we want to add an additional record. So another thing that we would need to do is, although I don't know, we would want to also do I don't know if that. I have to see. Let's find out. Let's find out, because what we had to do last week. Last week we had to add a certificate. So let's see. But what else? So back to what I was saying at the beginning, right? This is it's getting a lot easier. Oh, there it goes, ACM certificate. So we'll look into that like maybe next time as well. I just wanted to see if it was there. So everything, pretty much everything in AWS is there, right? But what I was saying before, you can see like I didn't even use the resources from the course to do this, because like I said, the knowledge of AWS is what's going to, and of Azure, Google Cloud Platform, is what's going to allow you to do Terraform successfully, because you'll know, like you have a good understanding of what needs to be done manually so you can automate it, right? Automation is just taking something that's manual and creating it a way to do over and over and over again, right? So that is pretty cool, right? So now let's see if we could let's see if we were to create a Route 53 record, I suppose. And we call that, well, those 2 should be good. Oh, so we need to set up the C name, right? Or the A record. Yeah, we need to set up the A record, right? Because it should be pointed to the Elastic Beanstalk, right? The Elastic Beanstalk C name. So we're going to set up a that's public URL, right? And so what we're gonna do, because this already creates our name servers, right? But what we need to do is say the name poopypats.techcoachralph.dev type is going to be a zone ID. I'm not familiar with zone ID. What would be zone ID? Is there anything else? This so what is this routine? Oh, okay, routing policy. So there was a routing policy. Is that a CDR though? Let's see. So if we go to this one and we do if for zone okay, zone ID. I think zone ID is gonna be AWS route 53 zone dot poopy pants URL dot zone. Okay, got it. So see, and you see how like it's starting to trigger now. Like it's starting to make more sense, right? About how the Terraform works, and so now because the record is part of is under the zone, so the zone ID that was created from that belongs to this. We need to pass it into here, right? So now. Let's leave that out for now since that's not required. But I need to pass the value. Let's see. Let's see. So, so I'm looking at the one that we did manually. Let's see. Record name. Is there one for value? Because so I'm looking over here, and there is a value. So I'm trying to see if there is. So I don't see a value. Right, cool. So let's Google that. Let us Google that, right? So, so here, Terraform, route 53 record value. So zone ID, name, A. There's a, okay, so you see how it has that record in there? Let me look at the first one too. Record. Okay, so we got this. We got that. We got that. I guess we can throw a TLL on there. The type is not going to be CNAME, but it's going to be so it's going to be all right. So records, and we're going to say the record is going to be AWS Elastic Beanstalk environment dot Terraform dot Uh, It's like that, right? So now if we run this again, it should create it should create the record for that, right? So let's try a Terraform apply again. Inappropriate value for element 0 strings required. How do we do it up here? Elastic Beanstalk environment. So we probably have to do something like how we did up there, or oh wait, come on. So all we have to do in this case is ppq shouldn't I be able to use an output? I guess not. I guess the output is yeah. All right. So if we say join and
Lunch break. Lunch break.
AWS Elastic Beanstalk dot poopy pants dot Terraform. All right, let's see if we do that. What's gonna happen? Yes. All right, let's do that. We have an error. Okay, let's see. Make this a little bigger so I can read it better. Route 53. Invalid input request expected exactly one of alias target all of TL and resource record, or but found none in change with action create. So here they want a TTL equals 300. Alias. Not sure what alias target is. Okay, wait, alias record. Okay, I see. So we don't so it's not record that we're going to be using, from my understanding. We're going to be using, so I just pulled it up over here because we are using an alias for that one, right? So we need to set up an alias, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna remove this one for now. And once this is done, I'm gonna wrap it up. I think we can just push through a little bit to get this done. So let me take out the TLL as well. So we have our name, we have our zone ID, we have our type. Now we want to do an alias, and this is true. I'll leave it as false for now. That's the default. Name is going to be AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Environment dot Terraform dot CNAME. Let's see if that works. All right, and then the zone ID. Let's see, AWS Elastic Beanstalk What would be the zone ID for that one? Oh wait, no. That why would there be two zone IDs? Elastic Beans, Elastic Load Balancer, main zone ID. Let me see. Let's see. Let's leave that out for now, right? Nope. So zone ID is required. But let's add zone. But what would be the zone ID? Let's see if we can see that from our here. Let's see. Our alias, we have our. One thing I'm not sure about is the zone IDs part. Who would they want as the zone ID? So that means we Google what is the zone ID for route 53 alias for Elastic Beanstalk, right? And my searches are so specific, right? So export Elastic Beanstalk zone ID for, all right, so I think that's what we need right here, right? So export Elastic Beanstalk zone ID. So Elastic, I'm not sure if that's something that exists, right? So let's say we could try it, right? AWS Elastic Beanstalk environment dot. God, these. I'm not sure. But if there's no zone ID, how do you set it up with let's see. Trying to see if there is a zone ID for this. I would like to tag in Terraform at the end. Let's see what we can find. So that's elastic load balancing. But that would have it. So I don't know. Let's see. Not sure what the zone IDs are. So let's see. Zone ID. What is the? Not sure. This is elastic load balancing. Route 56 zone ID. Let's try that. Okay, let's take a look at that. AWS was there from Elastic Beanstalk, alias number 53. Okay. Alias. I don't think that's what you're looking for. So Elastic data dot. So okay, so AWS deploys all Elastic Beanstalk environments in fixed DNS zones. Hence, all we have to do is figure out what the zone ID for the region we are deploying our Elastic. Fortunately, the guys included a data resource that tells us exactly what we're looking for. Well, let's throw that bad boy in there. Data. So I'm gonna go here. Data, AWS Elastic Beanstalk hosted zone current. All right, so we got that. And then we are going to go to up here and we're going to say data dot AWS Elastic Zone dot current dot ID. That should do it. Let's see here. I think that's gonna do it. Let's try to do a Terraform apply. See what we get. So it is going to do that rigmarole. Sorry, y'all. And let's see what happens. So let me go back into here. Let's see if it adds our. So this should turn to 3. And and it does, right? It does turn to 3. So it should get it created pretty soon. Let's open that up. And we have an A, and it is pointing to here. Exactly what we wanted. I'm not sure why Terraform isn't done yet. It looks like it's there it goes. So there we are. There we have it. So we have everything done. And so recap. What did we do today, right? We used Terraform to set up our Elastic Beanstalk environment that we're going to use to deploy our Poopy Pants application. I mean, we already did it manually the other day, but we want it to be managed as infrastructure as code. We want it to be inside of Terraform, which is what we're doing. You know, everything connects together. So what is up next on the horizon is that I'm gonna tear everything. So what we did today, right? We set up Elastic Beanstalk. We were able to see through Terraform. We were able to see the URL. We just finished setting up our Route 53 with our record that points to Elastic Beanstalk, right? Everything that we did manually the other day, we just did it through automation, except for the code pipeline part and the certificate. We're gonna do the certificate and the code pipeline next weekend, right? That is going to be the goal because we have it working manually. We have our little MVP up, but we also want to get our code as infrastructure. So that is what we're going to be doing. But we had a great and amazing time today. So I just want to give us all a round of applause. we did an amazing job to get this far. Because I was thinking about doing it last time, but I was like, no, we need to just get this application up. Now that we have it up, now we can refactor our infrastructure so that we do not have to manage it manually. We can manage it. We can manage it through code, and if we need to make an update, we just go in here and we do what we have to do, and we are on the up and up. All right. So let's take one quick look at what we were able to get set up. So we have the basic Express template that they set up. We're going to be looking to overwrite that next time we're together, so we can get rid of our manual configuration. We can delete that and manage our code through Terraform. We also ended up creating this instance, right? I think it's this one right here, because and that's what Elastic Beanstalk does. It sets up an instance for it to run on, and we were able to create this one, the poopypants.techcoachralph.dev. It's a new one that is managed by Terraform, and we were able to create the simple alias that's going to direct it to our Elastic Beanstalk application. All right. So that is what it is. But before we go, we are going to tear everything down. All right. So we're going to do Terraform destroy. We are going to destroy it. So we are going to destroy 4 things. We're going to destroy our Route 53, and we're going to destroy our Route 53 record, and we're going to destroy the Elastic Beanstalk environment that we created, right? So let's go ahead and do that, and we shouldn't have any more resources that are up. So it's destroying. Right now it's destroying the record. So if we go here, so while it's destroying, I want to see the things as they go, right? So there we go. Now we're down to 2 because it destroyed that, and now it is destroying public URL. So if we go to hosted zones, now so that's gone, right? Because we had 2. Now that's gone. So our destruction is going well. Now if we go over to Elastic Beanstalk, we should see our environment get to go as well. Let's see. Still there. It's probably. Oh, let's check out the EC2 instance because it might be destroying that as well. Yep. So that EC2 instance is gone, and then shortly thereafter, the environment should be gone as well. And it's interesting to watch it destroy the same way we watch it build, because now we can see like the steps that it's going through. And all Terraform is hitting a bunch of different APIs based on the code that you typed in. It's just going to a bunch of APIs to create or to destroy or to update. You know, it's just a CRUD application on a bunch of different endpoints that is going to trigger some type of infrastructure job at AWS. All right, let's see. Should be wrapping up. I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, so here it goes. Terminate in progress. So it's getting there. You know, so it terminated the EC2 instance, and it's in progress to terminate the Elastic Beanstalk environment. All right, there we go. So this is unknown now. We click on this. Environment health has transitioned to okay from info, terminate in progress. It's getting there. And I think once the environment is terminated, it should change the status of the application as well, right? Removed instance from your environment. And then we should have environment application. So I click here, just checking the logs out, you know. So deleted security. Okay, so it's doing a bunch of stuff, right? So all this, so we can see everything. Like once you're doing the Elastic Beanstalk, everything that gets triggered, right? So if we look over here, so this is when it. All right, we got an error, but let's see. So it does all this. Let's see. Terminate environment completed successfully. So if we go back to environments here, let's see. Said terminate environment completed successfully, but still there. It said terminated. Environments. All right, so let's read our error before we wrap it up, right? Deleting Elastic Beanstalk application, invalid parameter value, unable to delete application because it has a version that is deployed to a running environment. Unable to delete. Running environment. Maybe it just took so long for it to. No, she's terminated, right? So maybe it took so long. Deleting it. Let me see something. Let me do another Terraform apply. Maybe you can set up a timeout. You can update it, override the timeout on it or something. I don't know, but let's see. Let's finish this because it had timed out the first time. So let's see if it can finish getting rid. So we got rid of our Elastic Beanstalk. Just took some time, so we might have to add a timeout to that if that's possible. Now let's move on to what did I do? Did I do apply or shoot? All right. Well, I'll finish up. Stupid. I'll finish up the I'm not. I messed up. It's okay. But you know, it is what it is. I did apply. I should have did a second destroy, but after it's done, I will redo it and I'll let you know next weekend how that all went down. You know, but it is what it is. So, anyways, you know, minor mistake, but it's going to take some time for it to go through, right? So if you enjoyed the show, thank you. I appreciate you. You know what? I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you for joining me to learn Terraform with me. It's making a lot more sense now, right? That is what I want you guys to take away, right? As you continue to do something and you fight it and you beat it and you want to master it, there's going to be some good days, there's going to be some bad days, but you have to fight it. You have to keep pushing forward because it's going to click at one point, right? And then you're going to be doing some amazing things. You're going to get some ideas. The way that I structure my learning is to apply it on things that are useful, right? So building this app with my Tick Barbarians, and I'm like, okay, I can use the deployment process as a learning opportunity and to share with you guys as well. And that's why we have what we have now. Yeah. So hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. If you did, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know when we go live. Like the video, share the video, leave me a comment. Join me when I go live. We will be going live tomorrow morning for our Coffee and Kata show in the morning. And then we have our episode of Candid Conversation that is going to be talking about burnout and how you can use that to your advantage. We're always strategizing to win. So check that out tomorrow at noon. And we will also be live back on Tuesday night for our Q&A session. So many things happening this week. I'm still scheduling everything. I should have everything scheduled by tonight. So looking forward to this week. We are getting more and more efficient every single day. All right. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. And I look forward to connecting with you throughout this entire week. But on that note, this is Tech Coach Ralph signing off on Sunday, January 7th, 2024 for our very second episode of Software Explorations for the 2024 year. All right. But before I go, one last question for you. And that question is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Hear me, warriors of the North. Today we have tasted the sweet nectar of victory. Our foes indeed defeated, and their lands are now bow before us. The gods themselves have favored our glorious deeds on this glorious day. We have shed blood, sweat, and tears to claim this land. Our relentless spirit, our unyielding determination, these are the very essence of our people. The spirit of our ancestors rejoice in the halls of Valhalla. For today, we have added to their eternal glory. Our victories will echo throughout the ages, and our names will be etched in the annals of history. But let us not forget the price we paid, the brothers and sisters we lost. They now feast in the hall of our forefathers, watching over us with pride. Their sacrifice has paved the way for this moment of triumph. Heaven celebrate his conquests. Let us also remember that our journey is far from over. More land awaits our conquest, more battles call us forth. And the fire in our hearts burn ever brighter, for there is no limit to what we can achieve. To those who dare stand against us, let them tremble in fear. For they shall witness the fury of the northern storm, the wrath of the untamed barbarians. Today we celebrate our victory. Tomorrow, we set our sights on new horizons. A charted land where our banners will fly high. We are Vikings, we're barbarians, we are masters of conquest.